Hi friends, it's Miss Alejandra here. So for today's cooking class, I thought we can focus on the different parts of a plant that we eat, right? So we know we eat fruits, vegetables, but there are also other parts of the plant that we eat. So before we start our cooking and our recipe, I thought we can get a little refresher on the different parts of the plant. Does that sound good? Okay friends, so I was looking around my house for an example that we can use, and I came across a very cool example. So right here I have one of the plants that we have in my house, right? And it's in a different kind of setting, right? We usually see our plants outside in the garden in soil, right? But this plant is actually in, can you tell what it is? It's in water, right? That's a little different. In this example, we can see the roots, or in Spanish, las raíces, right? And what else can we see in this plant? What else can we see? We can also see the beautiful green leaves, right? Las hojas verdes. What else? We have our roots, las raíces. We have our leaves, the hojas. What else? How are they connected? Right? They're connected by the stem, or in Spanish, el tallo, right? So we have our leaves, we have our roots, and we have our stem. And then if we practice it in Spanish, we have our hojas, we have our tallo, the tallo right here, and we have our raíces, 3, right? Is that it? Is that all the parts of the plant? Thumbs up or thumbs down? I think thumbs down. There's some things missing from this plant, right? So I'm gonna put this example down and we'll brainstorm the other parts that this plant is missing, okay? So we had our leaves, our hojas, we had our stem, el tallo, and then we also had our roots, right? Or in Spanish, nuestro raíces, right? So we had those 3. But plants in the garden usually develop other parts, right? So let's imagine a tomato plant, right? So we still have our leaves, we still have our stem, and we still have our roots. Even though we can't see them in the soil, they're still there, right? So we have those 3. What else is missing? What do we usually see on tomato plants? And I think I can put a picture right here for us to see what else is missing. What's missing? What's missing? It starts with an F. A flower, right? So plants also produce flowers. Different colors, different shapes and sizes. So we're missing our flowers, or in Spanish, nuestro flores, right? So that's our 4th part of the plant. And usually once a plant produces a flower, we have some garden friends that visit the flower, right? They go bzzz. They're bees, right? Our bees come, they go to the flowers and they pollinate the flower. And once a flower is pollinated, it can produce a fruit, right? So once our plant produces a fruit, then we get to harvest it, right? So it can be a tomato in this example, it could be a cucumber, so many different examples, right? So we had our leaves, we had our stem, we have our leaves, stem, roots, then we had our flowers, and then we had our fruits, right? Is that it? Are we done? 5? What do you think? Thumbs up, down? What do you think? I'm gonna say thumbs down. We're still missing one more part of that plant. So let's go back to our tomato example. If we have our tomato, we've harvested a tomato, beautiful tomato, right here in my hand. I'm gonna imagine it, right? So once I cut into my tomato, what's inside the tomato? We have some seeds, right? So with those seeds, we can even put them back into the soil and we can have another plant, right? So that's an important part of the plant that we cannot forget. So we had our 5 plus the seeds, we have 6. So that means we have 6 parts of the plant. Now that we know our parts of the plant, I think we can start cooking, right? Okay. Okay, friends, so we reviewed our 6 parts of the plant. Now for today's cooking lesson, it's a little bit of a challenge, right? So I want to challenge us to eat the different 6 parts of a plant. Okay, friends, so I looked around my kitchen. I was looking for different parts of the plant in my fridge, and I think we can make some yummy tacos. How about we call them plant part tacos, right? I encourage you to substitute anything that you don't have. Get creative, use the knowledge we learned when we reviewed the parts of the plant, and I bet you'll make something delicious. So I've washed my hands, I washed our ingredients, and now we can start prepping them. Sound good? Okay. Okay, friends, so I've washed all of our ingredients, and the reason why I haven't told you yet what they are is because I want us to practice identifying the different parts of the plant, right? So I'll go one by one and see if you can guess what part of the plant and what ingredient it is, okay? So our first ingredient is this one right here. It is long, it's green. Can you guess what it is? It's a cucumber, right? So now we have to guess what part of the plant is it? Maybe if I open it up, it'll help you identify what it is. Okay, so let me get my knife. And remember, friends, if you're ever using a knife, be very careful. Remember your knife rules, your safety rules, right? So if I cut it down the middle, let's see, does that help you? What's inside? What are they? Let's see if I cut it down the middle again. I use my tunnel. This is gonna be a lot more visible. You have a bunch of seeds, right? So what part of the plant has seeds inside? Remember when we were talking about the different parts? The seeds are inside of the fruit, right? Inside of the fruit. And if we were to say this in Spanish, las semillas, the seeds, las semillas están adentro de la fruta, right? So we have our fruit, la fruta, and we have our seeds, semillas. So that's what? That's 2 different parts of the plant. Ooh, look at us, right? So that's one of our ingredients. We have cucumber, right? So our next ingredient is going to be, I cut it down the middle again already so you can see what it is. Can anyone guess what it is? Let me show you the other side. It's cauliflower, right? And I think the name of it helps us. Cauliflower. I wonder what ingredient it is. I mean, what part of the plant? It's the flower, right? So we have our seeds, we have our fruit, and then now we have our flower, right? That's 3 out of the 6. So the next one is, let's see if you can guess, it's purple. And then it's white inside. Can you guess what it is? It is the cauliflower, right? Cauliflower, this is the cabbage. Sorry, friends. So this is the cabbage, right? And it's not green cabbage, it's red cabbage. And I know you must be like, Miss Alejandra, why is it called red cabbage if it's purple? I don't know, that's a very good question, but it's red cabbage. Okay, friends? So our cabbage, what part of the plant do you think this is? Let me give you a hint, because this one's a little tricky. This is the leaves, right, of the plant, right? So this is very different from our example earlier, right? But these are the leaves of the cabbage plant, right? Okay, so we had our 3, now we have 4, right? We have our seeds, we have our fruit, we have our flower, we have our leaves, and now our next ingredient. I think you'll recognize this ingredient very quickly, right? This is a carrot, right? Everyone knows carrots. They're orange. Sometimes they come in other colors. Oh, that would have been really cool to have a different color, right? But I had orange carrots at my house. So carrots is our ingredient. What part of the plant do you think carrots are? They usually go underground. What part of the plant goes underground? Remember, it's the roots, right? Or las raíces. So carrot is a root of a plant, the carrot plant, and we eat the root. I think the last one is the stem, right? The stem, we're missing the stem. So I actually couldn't find any in my fridge, but I actually have some in my little garden. So we're going to take a little field trip to my garden outside, and we're going to identify our last ingredient for today's recipe. Okay, friends, so I was looking around and I identified some green onion, right? You've seen these in the market, but I actually planted some here in the garden, and I think this is the stem of this plant. So I think green onions are going to be our stem for this recipe. Okay, friends, so here are the instructions for our plant part tacos. Remember, in these instructions, I used the ingredients that I found at my house, but you are very welcome to use a different set of ingredients. Just remember, we want to get all 6 parts of the plant. So get creative, look around your fridge, and see what you have. While you're preparing your tacos, just remember, we have our pico de gallo, our greens, and our quote-unquote meat. So just remember, always follow your knife safety rules and make sure to get help when you're cooking your quote-unquote meat. Okay, friends, so I showed you the 3 different ways that we can prepare this recipe. And honestly, there are so many other combinations that you can make with the things that you have at home. So I hope you get creative. I hope you practice identifying which 6 parts of the plants that you can eat. And I hope you're brave tasters. I know this cauliflower looks very different. It turned white to yellow, but be brave tasters. Take at least 2 bites, and I hope you enjoy your meal. And I'll see you for the next video. Bye, friends.